Yeah, buddy. Yes. Y'all know what it is. Three Kings Boxing back. All right. Special post-fight edition. And of course, as always, joining me. First of all, go to 3kingsboxing.com for latest what's going on in the sport of boxing. And like we tell y'all, man, we gave y'all our predictions. And just like we said, y'all see how everything turned out. Man, HNIC, man, talk to the people, man.
Ain't really too much I can say, man. I mean, y'all just need to follow Three Kings, man. Now, I will say this. I don't know why Bo straight off the path. The motherfucker straight off the path for that Duke Micah nigga that nobody knew. I don't know why he did that. Sometimes Bo be trying to go against me for whatever reason that may be. And I just rhymed and I did that shit on purpose. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, the nigga be going against me for whatever reason. And he just ends up taking that L. An L that he just didn't have to take. That was an unnecessary L to take. Duke Micah ain't showed nobody shit that told us that he was going to be able to beat Jermell Charlo, a bona fide three-weight champion. Come on, bro.
Hey, man, why we got to start off with old shit? Like,
I'm just saying, man.
It's a new day.
Hey, you can't start the show. We told y'all, yeah, you know what I'm saying? But then, you fucked up on Duke Micah.
Man, if I don't even remember the Duke Micah.
Yeah, you remember Duke Micah, all right. I told you when that motherfucker was looking scary in that corner before the goddamn fight started, I said, man, he about to get knocked the fuck out. That nigga looked like he didn't want to be there. I'm like, man, he about to get knocked out, bro.
Man, look, man.
But regardless, fuck all that. The whole point is the Charlos, though, Bo. And when we talked about the Charlos, pretty much they did exactly what we said, bro. Mm-hmm. Especially Jermell. You know what I'm saying?
He did his thing, man.
We specifically said that Jermell. First of all, we said Jeison Rosario is a 5-round fighter. That's number one. Then we said Jermell, within those 5 rounds, he's going to have to box, somewhat resort back to who he was when he was fighting under Ronnie Shields, who his brother Jermall is still fighting under, right? Which actually, Ronnie Shields showed you how he was helping Jermall prepare for Sergiy Derevyanchenko's pressure because Jermall was sitting there boxing, something that we really didn't expect him to do. We wanted him to do it, but we didn't expect it. And that's why we thought that fight was going to be a little closer than what it was. We still had Jermall winning, but we thought the fight was going to be a little bit closer because Jermall's not your stay on the outside, pump a jab type of boxer. He likes to be mid-range, pumping that jab so he can set up a big right hand. Towards the end of that fight, he started doing it, but you could see Ronnie Shields had changed up what he was about earlier in that fight. Mm-hmm. But Jermell, we were like, yo, he's got to go back to what he was doing with Ronnie Shields, bro. He can't fight him like how he fought Charles Hatley, how he fought John Jackson, right?
Yep.
How he was fighting Tony Harrison. He can't fight Banana that same way, and he didn't do that. And actually, the PBC commentators are fucking stupid all night, by the way.
I don't listen to them.
I don't either, bro. We don't need the PBC commentators at all. You know what I'm saying? But we call fights all fucking day, every day. We do recaps on every goddamn card that you could talk about in a given time, bro. We know how to call fights. We don't need the commentators. I listen to them because I like to make fun of these motherfuckers because they really don't know boxing. You see what I'm saying? I mean, at the end of the show, one of them called Jermell Charlo the new undisputed champion. I don't know if anybody caught that.
I heard that, dog. I heard
that. You caught that, Bo?
Yeah, I heard that, man. I was like, oh.
They called Jermell Charlo, one of them called Jermell Charlo the new undisputed champion at 154. Nigga, you can't be an undisputed champion without the WBO belt. Patrick Teixeira still got that belt. See what I mean? They don't know boxing. You don't make a mistake like that if you know boxing. You won't hear me and Bo say, you know what? Jermell Charlo is the new undisputed champion. You won't hear that. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So at the end of the day, bro, they don't know boxing. They were pissing me off. They were sitting there saying Banana was backing Jermell Charlo up. That's not what he was doing. Banana did apply effective aggression, but Jermell was backing up because he wanted to judge distance better, because he knew that all Banana Rosario was going to do was apply pressure. That's who he is. Banana Rosario doesn't know anybody else. Thank you, Box Riley. Yeah, that was Mauro Ranello. Thank you, sir. Right? But and Mauro Ranello's usually a good commentator, by the way. I don't know what the fuck he was smoking today, bro.
Well, since that nigga got hair on his head and let it grow long, that motherfucker nigga let his brain grow with that nigga lost his brain when his hair grew back. His hair grew long and shit.
Yeah, shit crazy, dog. But they talking about, oh man, he's backing him up. Oh shit, Jermell, he's getting beaten. You could give Rosario those rounds for sure because of his work rate. I have no problem with that. But these dudes were really like beside themselves seeing Jermell backing up, trying to judge distance. Jermell used to do that all the fucking time, right? When he was basically fighting under Ronnie Shields. Remember when he fought Vanez Martirosyan, he was backing up, right? When he fought under Ronnie Shields, that's what he was doing. So I feel like in this fight, he was judging distance, trying to make Banana Rosario run into some shots, which is exactly what the fuck he did to get the first knockdown, which a lot of people didn't think was a knockdown. But the second knockdown for sure. Banana Rosario literally ran into a motherfucking jab to the body, and this nigga squirming on the ground looking like he just busted a nut.
That nigga was...
Did he not, bro?
He was convulsing on the
ground. That motherfucker got hit in the stomach, fell on his back and said, I've never seen anything like that in my life. 20 plus years of covering boxing, bro. Right? I've never seen it in my life. A nigga get knocked down by a jab to the solar plexus and look like he just came on himself, dog. That's like what happened. Now.
That's a sad he made, dog.
Yo, prayers out to Jeison Rosario, man. Hopefully, dude is okay. He went to the hospital and shit after his fight. Hopefully, he's okay. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, bro, the reason why that shot hurt him so much is because he ran right into it, man. He ran right into this shit, dog. Because Jermell Charlo was setting this nigga up the entire fight. How? By judging distance off the back foot, man. That is boxing 101. When you're a boxer and you're facing a guy that is basically going to apply aggression the entire fight, you judge distance off the back foot, man. This is exactly what Jermall Charlo did against Sergiy Derevyanchenko, man. Jermall did a better job. He beat the dog shit out of Derevyanchenko.
Yes, he did.
This nigga Derevyanchenko was looking like a slab of raw meat by round 7. I mean, it looked like we was gonna take Derevyanchenko's face and roast that motherfucker with some garlic, nigga, and serve it to a nigga with a plate of mashed potatoes, bro. That's what it looked like. That's what his face looked like. We was getting ready to have a New York strip made from Sergiy Derevyanchenko's face, man. Just battered meat, man. And that's because Jermall Charlo did an excellent job judging distance, man. Niggas don't know boxing, bro, man. How'd you think about these fights, man? Pure dominance for me, bro.
All right, man. Here's the thing. I think in the beginning of the fight, I thought Charlo was a little antsy against Banana at first. He came out a little wild, a little antsy. But as I started watching the fight, I noticed what he was doing. The one thing he knew to do with Rosario, which is what J-Rock didn't do, was you cannot let this motherfucker get into a comfort zone. So he was coming at him because it appeared like he was antsy. I'm like, no, he's not antsy. He's making sure he answers whatever this dude does. He's answering with something to keep this motherfucker from what? Thinking he can just openly attack him. Because that's what happened in the J-Rock fight. J-Rock wasn't giving him nothing back. He just openly attacked this motherfucker. See what I'm saying? So Charlo thing was, well, I ain't gonna let this, if this nigga land a powerful jab, I'm gonna throw a wild right hand. I don't give a fuck if it land or not. I'm not gonna let this nigga think he can openly jump on me. And another thing he did very good, and we talked about in the show, was he used his athleticism along with his boxing ability very fucking well in this fight.
Right.
I was super impressed with the fact that he was giving angles and he was using his all out athleticism to jump in, jump out, move back, push dude off of him. I was like, okay, Derek James took this motherfucker back to the cookbook. That was he said, listen, man, you know, I know you had trouble against Tony Harrison, and that was a good thing. And 2K said this, and I said it too. Losing Tony Harrison made this nigga more hungry. You saw it tonight. There was a difference in Jermell's interview and Jermall's interview. Huge difference, right? Jermall, the one that fought Rosario, he was like, "Hey man, only thing I know about the nigga, the motherfucker beat beat J Rock and he wanted to fight me." Like he sounded upset, like man, this motherfucker, he calling my name. I want to protect my name, right? He seemed he had a lot more doggish in him, but that's only because of the fact, like you said, and you made this point out, was he lost. He don't never want to taste that feeling no more. The other Charlo, although I think the type of fight he was in didn't require him to be over verbal about it, but at the same time he understood what he had in front of him. Again, Ronnie Shields took him back to the cookbook. He said, "Look here, man. This dude has the athleticism. This dude can give you angles. This is what we're going to do to work on those. Those uppercuts kept motherfucking Derevyanchenko from using them angles effectively. That motherfucking jab, every time he would step back, and he was changing levels on Derevyanchenko. So Derevyanchenko couldn't fall into a pattern where he was comfortable. And every time Derevyanchenko, he had moments where he would jump on him, Charlo would hit him with that uppercut, hit him with a body shot, and go back, and he would bring it back into the center of the ring. He wasn't looking to knock the dude out. Even when he had the motherfucker hurt and he jumped on him and he realized that, hey, this dude ain't finna go, he backed up, went back to the game plan. Hey, man, Charlo brothers showed me a lot of unexpected ring IQ tonight. In both
Hell
fights.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. I know Boxing said Rosario had a jab that was causing issues for Charlo. He's talking about Jermell Charlo. Here's the deal about Jermell. Jermell is going to have trouble with boxers. Remember, he didn't look good against Tony Harrison in the first fight, right? He looked good against Tony Harrison in the second fight, but Tony Harrison wasn't losing by no dramatic fashion until he got knocked out. You see what I'm saying? That was a close fight. I'll take you back to John Jackson. John Jackson was beating. He was beating Jermell Charlo, bro. He was out boxing Jermell Charlo. Actually, I remember at one point, I think I had my scorecard in that fight. It was like 59-55, something like that, bro, for John Jackson. And then Jermell Charlo actually landed a shot that John Jackson never came back from. You see what I'm saying? So Jermell has historically, bro, had problems with boxers and guys with good jabs. So this is nothing new. The point is, Jermell has an excellent, he's excellent at being able to make adjustments, right? We've seen that against John Jackson. We saw it against Tony Harrison, right, in the rematch. And we just saw it tonight against Jeison Rosario. He's excellent at making adjustments, man. He might have flaws here and there, but he has the ability to adjust. That's one thing we can't take away from either Charlo, right? In this case, Jermell. So just because the jab was giving him a little bit of trouble, at the end of the day, when he made that adjustment, Jeison Rosario couldn't. Hence why he got knocked out by a fucking solar plexus jab. So at the end of the day, that means absolutely nothing. The thing about Jermall, though, switching gears to him, I did not 100%, as I stated, I didn't expect this motherfucker to box at all.
Not at all. Not like this. Not like that.
Not to that degree, bro. I expected Jermall to basically sit at mid-range distance, and this is what he did in the championship rounds of the fight. And this is how Sergiy Derevyanchenko actually started coming back, but it was a little bit too late. He did exactly what I expected. He sat at mid-range distance. He didn't have a lot of volume, right? And if you're talking about somebody pushing somebody back, it was actually Sergiy Derevyanchenko doing it more effectively than Jeison Rosario was against Jermell, in my opinion, right? In that second half in the championship rounds of the Derevyanchenko Charlo fight. I'm not talking about the duration of the fight. I'm talking about just the championship rounds 10, 11, and 12, okay? That's where it looked like to me either Jermall was winded or he got complacent. I don't know what it was, but he stopped boxing. He started standing at mid-range distance, which is exactly what I expected him to do. And then that's when Derevyanchenko started getting those rounds, right? But before that, he had banked way too many rounds early on, bro, against Derevyanchenko, to the point where it didn't matter that Derevyanchenko might have won the last 3 rounds because he would have lost anyway, decisively. And he did.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, he did.
And the reason being was because of the pure boxing that he was doing, bro. That jab, now I've known Jermall to have a stiff-ass jab. We all know this. But this jab was really fucking him up, man. Like, it was really fucking Sergiy Derevyanchenko up, man.
Dog, it was throwing him off balance.
It was really, it was really fucking him up. It looked like an adult was jabbing a teenager, bro. That's what it fucking looked like, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you got a 30-year-old motherfucker fighting a 14-year-old, man. That's what it looked like, man. You know, when did we see that last? Well, we saw Jermall fucking up J-Rock with a jab.
Sure
he was stunning J-Rock with a jab, knocking him off balance as well, right?
Yeah, knocked the nigga down with one.
Knocked him down with a jab. You're absolutely right. I don't recall seeing Jermall making Matt Korobov fall off balance from a jab, and I definitely don't recall him making Brandon Adams fall off balance with a jab. Sure, he made Dennis Hogan, you know, fall off balance with anything. He fucking blew on Dennis Hogan. He fell off balance. That's because he's not a fucking fighter at 160. He's a 154, and he's a small 154 pounder. So he blew on Dennis Hogan, and that motherfucker went off balance. But the fights before Hogan, right, the last 2, Korobov and Adams, I didn't see this. So when you make predictions, you got to go off what you see in recent times. Boxing is all about what have you done lately, right?
Yes, sir.
And lately, Jermall Charlo has been sitting at mid-range distance, allowing his opponents to get off on him at certain points in the fight, and he's not utilizing the jab as much as he used to. Well, he didn't do that in this fight. And that's what I'm saying. Ronnie Shields is like, hey, I don't know if it gets Korobov and Brandon Adams. Charlo said, man, I ain't worried about these motherfuckers, man. I got these dudes, man. I ain't got to listen to you, Ronnie. I don't know if that was the case or not, but in this fight, Ronnie was like, hey, sit your bitch ass down, nigga. We need to talk.
Yep.
We need to talk. You saw Derevyanchenko against Daniel Jacobs. A lot of niggas thought he won that fight. You saw Derevyanchenko against Gennady Golovkin. A lot of motherfuckers thought he won that fight. Those is only 2 losses, right? We saw him against Jack Colkay and others. He fucked them dudes up. You see what I'm saying? You need to really box this dude, keep distance between you and him, right? And play the fucking matador as much as you can. And that's exactly what he did to a T, and that's how he dominated a fight in which it was supposed to be a dangerous matchup, Bo.
Oh, man. You know, let me listen, man. When he came out in the beginning of the fight, and he started, he came out right away, jab, 3 jabs, pat, pat, pat. Then he started moving, and it's almost as if they worked on so much in camp that everything was like first nature to him, because his movement was a little bit. Sometimes Jermall can be a little stiff. His movement was fluid in this fight. When he was stepping side to side, his defense was even on par in this fight. So I got to give it to Ronnie Shields. This was well prepared. Like you said, it's almost like he set him down saying, hey, look here, little nigga. Like, you know, because Ronnie Shields has this, he has like this voice that when you hear it, you just be like, oh, that's Ronnie Shields talking. But I think when he talked to Jermall, he found his inner nigga. He's like, hey man, look, sit down. He's like, Ronnie? He be like, Ronnie? Yeah, nigga, sit down, have a seat.
Sit down.
Yeah, sit down.
Hell yeah. He had to, bro. I mean, this was a fight that could have went the other way easily, right? If Jermall had came into this fight fighting, just think about it, fellas. If Jermall came into this fight fighting Derevyanchenko the way he fought Brandon Adams and Matt Korobov, this fight could have went sideways easily, fellas. I don't think Jermall and Jermell are ever going to get knocked out. The reason why is not necessarily because of their chin. It's because of their willpower. They have this willpower, and I can relate, because like I said in the last podcast, man, I'm the same type of nigga, man. They got this willpower whenever they fucking set their mind to do something, right, they do it, and they don't let much deter them from doing it. Sure, you could come up short, you could take L's and shit, right? But at the end of the day, it's going to be a difficult L for whoever you're fighting, right? It's going to be a difficult L in whatever venture or whatever situation you're putting yourself into, because you're putting your all into it. You have so much willpower and self-confidence in yourself that you will perform decently enough in a win or a loss. You feel what I'm saying? That's how the Charlos are. That's why I don't ever see them niggas getting knocked out by anybody, right? However, the situation at hand is if he didn't fight the way he fought him today and fought Derevyanchenko the way he fought Brandon Adams or Matt Korobov, he could have lost a 12-round decision. Or it could have been a situation where he was getting beat up in the fight and they gave him a gift decision. What many people thought happened against Matt Korobov. That could have happened today easily. You see what I'm saying? Derevyanchenko is a better fighter than Matt Korobov at Matt Korobov's point in his career right now.
Oh, that's very true. Very true.
You see what I'm saying? So Derevyanchenko could have easily turned the tide if Jermall Charlo was not mentally prepared the way he was tonight, man. Excellent fucking showing. Nothing nobody could take away from this nigga. Of course, I'm scouring, dog. You know, we putting the Three Kings boxing articles up, all the recaps of all the fights tonight, pretty much. We putting the articles up, man. You know, we putting them on the Facebook page, and I see niggas commenting and shit. I see a motherfucker say, "Oh man," because I basically said, "Listen, Canelo, Andre, Golovkin, I don't give a fuck who it is. At this point in time, we need to see one of those fights. Hell, maybe even Daniel Jacobs. I don't give a fuck. One of those dudes at this point, dog. Right? I don't want to see Jermall fight nobody else unless he goes up to 168, which is something that he's been talking about because he feels like he can't get the fights at 160. So if he goes to 168, then I want to see him immediately fighting a Billy Ho, a fucking Callum Smith, right?
David Benavidez,
Caleb Plant. I want him in the mix with those guys immediately, bro. I don't need to see Jermall in a fucking tune-up. We don't need to see that. You see what I'm saying? So I'm like, while he's at 160 at this point, I need him to fight one of those big names. He deserves one of those big names at this point because everybody in the fucking boxing community that was doubting the Charlos, they were all saying that this was a major fight, a dangerous one, and one that Jermall Charlo could lose. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So at this fucking point in time, after he dominated the guy that y'all said was a dangerous fight and one that he could lose, and I actually agree with that, but I agree with it from a different context. I'm agreeing with it as a boxing pundit. Majority of these motherfuckers are agreeing with it due to hate. They hate the Charlos.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So for your hate and you wanting to see this motherfucker lose against Sergiy Derevyanchenko, and you got the complete opposite, right? Now it's a situation where you must basically concede to the notion that this nigga needs to fight a top name in the sport now. Because you thought this fight was going to be dangerous, and it wasn't. So who else is there then? If he's not ready for Andre, Canelo, Golovkin, or Daniel Jacobs, then who the fuck else is Mercedes Selecki, nigga? Who else? Luis Cuba Arias, nigga?
Yeah, no shit.
Jermall Rosario, man, get the fuck out of here. He's ready for these dudes, man. I don't want to hear no fucking talk. He ain't ready, he ain't fought nobody. He can't do this. I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear none of that shit. He's ready for those fights, and he showed it tonight. Now, what I was going to say was, when I'm looking at the comments, I got a motherfucker talking about, this was a cherry pick.
Huh?
They called Sergiy Derevyanchenko a cherry pick. Mind you, the motherfucker had a Latino last name, by the way. So
just tell me you don't like the nigga, man. Just tell me that.
That's what it is. He had a Latino last name, and I mentioned Canelo. Automatically, that triggered him. I bet you anything. I'm speculating. But it just, to me, dog, it's not a fucking coincidence that it happens to be a Latino, a Hispanic dude that says some stupid shit like that. And before he said that, he saw that I mentioned Canelo should fight Jermall. That's not a coincidence in my book. You know what I'm saying? So if Derevyanchenko is a fucking cherry to Jermall Charlo, then what the fuck was he to Gennady Golovkin? I'll wait. Because, he had already lost to Daniel Jacobs. So what was he to Gennady Golovkin?
For a title fight, too, at that, I may add.
Absolutely. But the same title, by the way, that Golovkin was holding, I believe, or that they were fighting for. It was vacant, that they were fighting for. So if Sergiy Derevyanchenko was a cherry to Jermall Charlo tonight, then what the fuck was he for Gennady Golovkin? And by the way, Gennady Golovkin lost, in my opinion.
Yeah, he did.
So not only did Jermall Charlo just beat a cherry, right? But he beat a cherry that Gennady Golovkin arguably lost to in the fight before Jermall Charlo. Oh my God, nigga, I'm so tired of this shit, bro. I hate having so much boxing knowledge. I fucking hate it, bro. I hate having boxing knowledge, and I hate being logical, nigga, because we killing these niggas on a daily basis. Too easy, bro.
Well, the problem is you have to understand you don't have beta male tendencies. Now, I don't know the guy. I'm not gonna go off one comment and say you're a beta male, but that's a beta male tendency. Why? Because that's a comment off of a fucking emotion.
Yeah.
And beta males do what? They speak out of fucking emotion.
Oh yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you can't tell me, like, if the thing is that, hey man, this dude, like people were saying, oh man, he don't deserve Canelo Alvarez. He got to earn that Canelo Alvarez fight. You know, oh, what did he do to deserve the WBC belt? I mean, outside the fact he was a former champion at low weight division, then he moved the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Outside that fact, okay, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, he earned that tonight. Yep. And he earned it, and he performed in spades. I don't give a fuck what you tell me. He performed in spades. Why? Nobody saw this motherfucker winning like that. I thought Charlo was going to win because I thought it was a situation that the business was on his side. Because I said it last night on our last podcast. I said it flat out. I said, man, if Charlo's still on his feet in 12, man, he wins. That's what I said. Because I'm thinking, hey, man, the business is going to rob him. Because the business been robbing this nigga any goddamn way. They're going to rob him again, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't the case. Matter of fact, Derevyanchenko himself, after the fight, y'all saw that way he clapped. Instead, he knew I just got my ass whooped.
Yeah.
He knew that.
Look, I'm never a dude that says, man, look at his face. He lost the fight, right? Because I'll take you back to a fight. And for you motherfuckers that don't know us, man, we know all 17 divisions. I'm about to mention a fight. A lot of niggas don't know what it is. But Carlos Cuadras versus Roman Gonzalez.
I knew it, dog.
Exactly.
I knew it.
Right. Roman Gonzalez's face, that nigga's face was all fucked up. But that was a close fight. Could have went either way.
Yeah, it was.
I thought Carlos Cuadras won, but not because Roman Gonzalez's face looked like a piece of meat. Nah, bro. So I'm not one to sit there and say that, oh, man, look at the nigga's face. He got his ass whooped, nigga. This shit is over with, dog. Nah. But at the end of the day, bro, Charlo literally banked almost all of the fucking rounds. Almost all. Not all, but almost all of the rounds up until the championship rounds, dog. And that's how he basically sealed the deal for himself.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm with you. I was watching the championship. I think a part of him wanted to try to get him out of there. I think a part of him, because remember he said something. He said, man, I'm not looking to outperform Gennady Golovkin or Daniel Jacobs. I'm looking to be the best Charlo I can be. So I think a part of him at some point in time, especially when he got him hurt a couple times, because there were times, I'm gonna tell you something else though. He showed a lot of patience because there was times he had that boy hurt, and either he missed it or it wasn't enough for him to want to jump on him. So at the end of the day, he earned the right to say, I want Canelo, and can't nobody say shit. Because if you look at right now, holding belts right now, who's had a better performance against a higher quality fucking opponent not named Canelo Alvarez? I'll wait. Because Gennady Golovkin, he's an old man now. Motherfucker, you mentioned Gennady. You know Gennady Golovkin, when you talk about IBF champions, you know niggas say, oh, Canelo, Andrade, and Charlo. And you gotta remind motherfuckers, hey man, dog, it's 4 belts. Oh yeah, that's right. GGG got one. That's what niggas do.
And they do that by default because they know GGG is at 160, so they just figure he got to be the other champion.
Yeah, exactly. So at the end of the day, against a top quality opponent, he gave a performance that is worthy of saying, yo man, he deserved to be in a ring with one of the big dogs, whether it's Golovkin, whether it's Canelo Alvarez, whether Bubu Andrade. He deserved to be in the ring with one of them, preferably Canelo or Bubu Andrade. At the end of the fucking day, you can no longer sit and say, this motherfucker got a champion. He's a paper champion. He was a what? Nope, you can't say that no more. Right. He's earned the right to be called the WBC middleweight champion tonight, man.
Let's just put the bullshit aside. It needs to be Canelo. Put the bullshit aside. It needs to be fucking Canelo. You want to know why it needs to be Canelo? Because Canelo has effectively not fought the Charlos and fucking Demetrius Andrade all the way from 154 up to 160 and possibly going to 168. Demetrius Andrade has chased fighters from 154 to 160 and now possibly 168, bro. All right. At least Demetrius Andrade was signed to fight Jermell Charlo in December of 2014. Now, he let the boxing business get to his fucking head and thought that this a promise from Rock Nation, I believe it was, that never really came to fruition, talked him out of fighting Jermell Charlo in December of 2014. But goddamn it, at least the nigga signed to fight him. Canelo never signed to fight any one of these guys across 2 divisions. And these dudes is holding belts. It's not like they just sitting there just whack-ass niggas on the sideline. They fucking holding belts.
Uh-huh.
And Canelo effectively did not fight any of these motherfuckers while they've been champion at 154 or at 160. So let's just put the bullshit to the side. It needs to be Canelo. I don't want to see Canelo fight Avni motherfucking Yildirim.
Uh-huh. I'm with you on this shit.
And apparently needed us fucking the zone.
No, that's why that shit going to purse bid.
Yeah. I didn't ask for Canelo Sergey Kovalev. I'm not interested in that shit. Sergey Kovalev was damn near dead on his feet against Anthony Yard, man.
Man.
And it was a fucking a jab that came from a whiff of stamina that came out of nowhere that finally got the knockout blow. That whiff of stamina could have came to either one of those fighters at any given fucking time. Kovalev was just lucky it came to him.
Yep.
So after seeing that against Anthony Yard, why the fuck would you want to see him fight Canelo? Canelo's way better than Anthony Yard. They're not even on the same fucking universe. And people say, well, Canelo's a smaller guy. Not necessarily. We all know Canelo blows up to like 190, nigga, when he walks around. We know this. So he's not necessarily a smaller fighter. He's a smaller fighter in height, but naturally the motherfucker walks around at a lot of weight, man.
Yeah, he does, actually.
So that doesn't necessarily mean that, you know, going in against Sergey Kovalev, there was going to be some fucking intrigue because he's a smaller fighter, and y'all saw it didn't matter. He knocked Kovalev out.
Well, 2K, here's the thing. Here's the reality. All right, let's just call bullshit what bullshit really is, right? Regardless of whether you like the nigga, you don't like the nigga. Canelo Alvarez's last 3 fights were against suspect motherfuckers and was trash. I'm sorry. Rocky Fielding.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, Canelo! Oh, yep. Canelo! I got the call.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. What? Are you serious? I'm fighting who? Canelo. Oh my God! This is the greatest day of my life. And literally fought Canelo like that.
Yes, he did.
He fought him in the ring like he was like, Sir Canelo, I've been paid to throw a left jab at your face. Please don't get mad at me, sir. Please don't get mad. They paid me to do this. Get this nigga out of here.
So Canelo last 3 fights, there was never no danger. There was no danger with Daniel Jacobs. I'm sorry, y'all might not like to hear that, but there wasn't. Daniel Jacobs' last great performance was Gennady Golovkin, and he never did ever since. As a matter of fact, and I told this to people, right? For whatever reason, and y'all don't get mad at Bobo said it. For whatever reason, Eddie Hearn has a way of devaluing you when he gets you. Daniel Jacobs was seriously devalued when he went to Eddie Hearn's. Mercedes Selecki. Louis Cuba Riser. He has a way of devaluing you, man. Okay? Yep. Yeah, he fought Sergiy Derevyanchenko in a tough fight that you can make the argument Derevyanchenko should have got the nod.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yep.
So at the end of the fucking day, there was no danger in Daniel Jacobs. There was definitely no danger in who? Sergey Kovalev. So fighting Charlo provides what? Danger. And guess what that provides? Money. So if you want to, hey man, and listen, and I think he's still, even after what I saw against Derevyanchenko, I think he beats. I think Canelo beats him.
Canelo beats Jermall, in my opinion. Absolutely,
right?
But they don't want to take the risk.
But you have to. You listen. Canelo Alvarez cannot go through his career without fighting none of these young, hungry, undefeated fucking lions out here. He can't do it.
Yeah.
You just can't do it. What? Listen, I talk all the shit I want about Sugar Ray, Aaron Pryor, ducking motherfucking Leonard. But the nigga fought motherfuckers in their prime.
Sure did.
He fought him in a, whether I like the nigga or don't, he fought him in a fucking prime, dog.
Sure did.
So at the end of the day, Canelo got to do the same thing, man. You got too many dudes from 154 to 168 in their prime, undefeated in your fucking era. You gotta fight them. Say what you want about Floyd. There's a lot of guys that Floyd didn't fight. I wanted him to fight Osvaldo Fuentes. I wanted him to fight Joel Casamayor. I wanted him to fight Prince Nassim Ahmed. Now, them motherfuckers didn't want to fight him, but he still fought motherfuckers in their prime. He still fought Diego motherfucking Corrales. He still fought motherfuckers in their prime. Same thing with Oscar De La Hoya. He still fought motherfuckers. At the end of the day, that's what you got. Oscar De La Hoya, at the age of 32 or 33, fought a prime Floyd Mayweather. That's what Canelo has to do. You got all these undefeated motherfuckers, Caleb motherfucking Plant, David motherfucking Benavidez, Billy Joe goddamn Sanders, Callum motherfucking Smith, Demetrius Andrade, goddamn it, and fucking Charlo. You got too many motherfuckers in their prime in your area around your weight division that you need to fight. Yep. At the end of the fucking day, anybody else will get ridiculed. Andre Ward, if he don't fight the niggas he fight, we shitting on him. If Floyd don't fight them, we shit. Anybody else gets shitted on. Canelo does not get a pass with all these young undefeated fighters doing his era in their prime. He don't get a pass. I'm sorry, y'all. He fucking don't. If you attack the resume of Mike Tyson and say that, you gotta say the same thing fucking here.
Right. So before I go to fuck off on this comment right here, he said, bro, Kovalev and Jacobs and GGG back then are tougher and can all beat Charlo. All right. Before I go off on this, right, I'm just going to assume you just showed up because you said back then he just fought Kovalev 9 months ago, 10 months ago. The fuck you mean back then? Okay. Kovalev 10 months ago does not beat Jermall Charlo. Absolutely not. Okay. The Gennady Golovkin that fought Canelo in the second fight, yes, there is a chance that he beats Jermall Charlo, but given how he's been looking recently, absolutely not. Okay.
No, the Gennady Golovkin that fought Derevyanchenko does not beat Charlo.
No. Then you got Daniel Jacobs. Well, Daniel Jacobs, and realistically, his greatest win is Peter fucking Quillen, who I've never actually rated ever, and who openly ducked Gennady Golovkin when he was holding that WBO title, right? So I've never actually rated Peter Quillen as anything, all right? I mean, Peter Quillen. Daniel Jacobs beats him, gives Gennady Golovkin the fight of his life, and then gets annihilated by Canelo. He definitely doesn't beat Jermall Charlo. So what are you talking about?
Well, here's my reply to it. What does that have to do with what we're talking about right now? We're talking about this motherfucker earning the right to fight Canelo right now based off the performance against a tough opponent like motherfucking Derevyanchenko. So what's the, like, I don't get the purpose of you even telling me what them niggas do back then. We're talking about we talking about what is transpired right now. So the point of that comment is, I don't understand the point of that comment other than the fact to try to protect Canelo's resume. But at the end of the day, what we saw today against a top quality opponent in Derevyanchenko, who arguably beat Daniel Jacobs, and who arguably beat, even more of an argument, beat GGG. And his performance against him is worthy of a Canelo. So all that shit about Kovalev and all them, what the fuck they got to do with what we talking about him fighting Canelo right now?
Nothing.
Exactly.
Like I said, it's either a Canelo fan or he just got here. So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. But at the end of the day, bro, this shit is ridiculous. And a lot of people say things like, oh, man, Jermall will get fucked up by Canelo and he gets fucked up by Triple G. Okay, then all the more reason why they should fight him, take his belt and his O. Mm-hmm. And ask for his bitches on top of that. I'll take your belt, your O, and your best bitch right now. I would. You know what I'm saying? Right. That would be me. If I was a champion and one of the bigger names in the sport, and I see this motherfucker named Jermall Charlo creeping up on me, calling me out, motherfuckers are basically comparing me to him on a daily basis within boxing communities. Oh yeah, I'm gonna feel offended if I'm the top nigga in the sport and I don't see no threat. Yeah. Give me that nigga then. They see a threat. That's why the fight doesn't happen. That's why they've been avoiding Demetrius Andrade. They see a threat.
All right, man. Hey, man, I got to put this up here, man. All right, man, dog. What are you talking about, dog? What do you mean? What do you mean? Let him fight another top fighter. I mean, get the fuck out of here with this shit, man. What do you mean let him fight another top? What other top fighters at a fight? Derevyanchenko was the top fighter. The fuck is you talking about?
Derevyanchenko is ranked number 1.
Yes.
By the WBC.
He was the top fighter. So what do you mean let him fight another top fighter? Derevyanchenko, how does a fucking champion gotta prove he deserves a big fight? He's a champion, dog. When the fuck does champions gotta prove they deserve anything? Once you get that belt, that is your rite of fucking passage.
They just hate the Charlos, bro. And this is a problem in boxing. It will remain a problem in boxing. People that are like that hate to see fighters get somewhere. Like, let me say this. We clown fighters and we definitely criticize motherfuckers, right?
For sure.
But I mean, that's just what we do. It provides entertainment. And that's just what you're supposed to do as a fan, a spectator, and a media personality of the fucking sport, right? That's what you do. But at the end of the day, we never sit back and prey on somebody's downfall, bro. We don't ever do that.
Never.
Actually, I want Canelo to fight these guys because Canelo has an opportunity in front of him to become the greatest Mexican fighter of all time. If he takes the right fucking fights, he has the opportunity. That's what I want to see. I'm not a fan of Canelo. I'm not a fan of any boxer. If I become a fan of a boxer, I no longer have an objective opinion in this boxing shit, bro. Now my opinions are subjective, right? Mm-hmm. They're going to be catered towards a certain fighter that I like and love. First of all, I don't love no other motherfucking man, right? That's not my father, grandfather, and then my son that will become a man later. You see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, right, I'm not a fan of any one of these guys because I can say things about any fucking fighter that may be negative or positive and not fucking feel bad at all. Because I don't have an emotional attachment. And that is always forever going to be the blight in boxing, bro.
Listen,
man.
That
you got these motherfuckers that are emotionally attached to fighters and networks and basically saying, oh, I'm not going to fucking watch that because it's on that network. Oh, I'm not going to fuck with him because I like this fighter and that guy's calling out my favorite fighter, so I'm not even going to support that. Well, what you're doing effectively is you're not supporting the sport as a whole. They're all a part of the same fucking sport. So you can't sit there and say and be biased towards one fighter and say that this fighter doesn't deserve to fight your favorite fighter because X, Y, and Z dumbass reason that's completely biased. And then in the same conversation say, oh, well, I support the sport of boxing. No, the fuck you do not.
No, you don't.
You support that fighter. You see? So these motherfuckers like this are always going to be the blight in boxing, bro.
Listen, man, at the end of the day, the rankings, the top 10 fighters, number 1, Golovkin, number 2, Andrade, number 3, Jermall Charlo, number 4 is Sergiy Derevyanchenko. He fought the number 4 best middleweight.
Yeah.
Okay. Who's done fucking better?
So what they want him to do is they want him to. What he's saying is, yeah, he fought the number 4 middleweight, right, by Ring Magazine rankings, which I respect I respect their divisional rankings. I don't really respect their pound for pound list.
Yeah, no,
but their divisional rankings are usually on fucking point. He fights the number 4, right, fighter, Sergiy Derevyanchenko. So this guy is basically saying, well, I need him to drop down and fight number 9, Masej Selecki. Huh?
Exactly.
Before I could say, you know, he's ready for a Canelo, Gennady Golovkin, or Demetrius Andrade, I need him to move from beating the number 4 guy and possibly fight number 10, Liam Williams.
Because I would love to know what the fuck Rocky Fielding done to deserve to be in that ring without no argument.
He did nothing.
I would love that. And I would love to know what Rocky Fielding done. I would love to know what James Kirkland did to be in the ring with Canelo Alvarez without no argument. I would love to know what Amir Khan did to deserve to be in the ring with Canelo without no argument.
Yep. Exactly.
I would love to know that.
Exactly. This is a good comment right here. He said, my man Junior Johns, he said, stop protecting Canelo. He's a great fighter. Stop producing grown men who don't give a fuck about you. He said, root for the best fights. Exactly. Mm-hmm. Exactly. I never understood, dog. I never understood people who emotionally become tied to one entity, bro. Not necessarily a person. I mean, anything in sports, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like a basketball team, a football team, you know, a tennis player, nigga. Like, it's cool to have a favorite, but when you get emotionally invested to the point where you're like, oh, I don't want to see this. I don't want to see this fight happen because I really like this fight. Or, you know, LeBron James and the Lakers lose in the NBA finals and shit this year, right? Then you're over there going outside in the street getting beat up by niggas because you didn't talk shit to the wrong dude about the Lakers. Like, why do they do that, bro? I never understand that shit, nigga.
No,
you see
man.
what I'm saying? The only fan that I am of is my family, nigga. The family I created. I'm a fan of them, and they are a fan of me, nigga. That's it. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Prodigy, I got a question for you, man.
What up, B?
What's Billy Joe Saunders' biggest win?
Billy Ho?
Yeah, what's Billy Ho's biggest win?
Chris Eubank Jr. probably.
Okay. What's Colin Smith's biggest win?
George Groves.
Is either one of them wins bigger than Derevyanchenko?
George Groves might be.
Okay, might be, but it's might.
I would think. Right? I would say George Groves is. I would.
But what I'm saying is, from an opponent standpoint, any of those fighters you can say you would without doubt just put them over Derevyanchenko. Say, oh man, they way better than Derevyanchenko.
They're not way better, no.
Okay, Canelo Alvarez was trying to fight both of them niggas, and they didn't have no career defining motherfucking moment of a fight. So what's the problem here?
I agree.
What's the problem? Why is it okay for Canelo to fight these motherfuckers? I mean, what did them niggas do? Yeah,
good point. You know what? Yeah, Corey said Lemieux. David Lemieux is Billy Ho's best win. I agree with that. I would say David Lemieux. And Canelo was actually trying to fight David Lemieux too.
Yes, he was.
Yep.
Spike O'Sullivan was even in until Lemieux knocked him the fuck out.
I remember that.
They were talking Spike O'Sullivan.
I remember that.
So why is it okay? Why is it okay for motherfuckers that have done less to get in the ring? But when it comes to Charlo, after one fight, because this is boxing, one fight is really all it takes for motherfuckers to say, yo, dog, it's your time.
Right.
All right. That's really what it is. All it takes is one fight for motherfuckers to say, yo, dog, it's your time. Why? Right. Because we just saw Daniel Rahman fight Payano, who wasn't even ranked in nowhere in the WBC, fight a title eliminator, win it. Now it's his time.
Yep.
That's actually how boxing works. You win the fight, yo, dog, you got next. It's your time.
Yep.
That's how the sport works, man. You don't have to go through a gauntlet.
Yep. I agree. At the end of the day, I mean, what gauntlet does he need to go through, though, at the end of the day at middleweight? He's already the WBC champion, right? People were pissed off that, you know, he was given the belt, but you got to blame Canelo for that. He fucking elected to be franchise champion. He elected for that. So you can't get mad at Charlo to be given the WBC belt. Okay, he's given the belt. He beats the number 4 ranked guy at middleweight and the number 1 contender in the organization in which he holds the title for. Mm-hmm. What else? There's nothing else he needs to do. He's a 2-division champion, bro.
There it is. The accolade speaks for itself.
He's a 2-division. Let me tell y'all niggas something, man. I got him, Bo. Here it comes, man. That's why I hate having so much boxing knowledge and being so logical to these niggas, man. You same dudes that are gonna sit there and say Jermall Charlo still needs to fight, you know, Rob Brandt to get his name up, right? Are the same motherfuckers that are gonna sit and complain about how Gervonta Davis didn't fight Vasyl Lomachenko at 130.
Boom.
It's the same shit, right? Gervonta Davis is a 2-time champion. He's a WBA regular champion right now at 135, but I don't rate the regular champion, right? You're a regular title holder. That ain't no champ. You need the super title, right? So I say he's a 2-time champion. He held the WBA super and IBF at 130, right? Mm-hmm. His WBA reign was while Vasyl Lomachenko was there. When he basically said, no, he's not, Sean. He's ranked number 4 by Ring Magazine. He's ranked number 1 in the WBC. We're talking about Derevyanchenko. When Vasyl Lomachenko was there and Gervonta Davis was the WBA champion, everyone was pissed when Floyd said he's not ready for Vasyl Lomachenko.
Sure was.
You did not say, you same dudes out there did not say, yo, Gervonta Davis still needs to take a couple of fights before he fights Vasyl Lomachenko. Y'all didn't say that. You know, maybe he should fight Francisco Fonseca first before he fights Vasyl Lomachenko. Y'all didn't say that. The same dudes that are out there saying Jermall Charlo needs to take another tune-up or whatnot, or at least another top contender before fighting Canelo, or before Canelo gives him any attention, you guys did not say Gervonta Davis needed to do the same before fighting Vasyl Lomachenko. You wanted him in the ring ASAP.
Sure did. Sure did.
So now when you got a guy that has done, right, that has done what he's supposed to do to get those fights, now you want him to go back and do more. You motherfuckers are backwards.
Mm-hmm. That's a very good point. That's a good point. Because Teofimo Lopez beat Richard Comey. Ain't nobody saying, well, Lopez needs to fight one more top guy. No, it's like, yeah, man, it's time, man. Make that Vasyl Lomachenko fight with Lopez.
Yeah, right. Right. Exactly, man. At the end of the day, it needs to be Canelo. Demetrius Andrade has been calling out Jermall Charlo for a long time now. I want to see that fucking fight happen too.
See that too.
But at the end of the day, the person I'm looking at right now with my eyes wide the fuck open is Canelo. Because I'm sick and tired of Canelo not fighting these guys that he should have been fighting from 154 up to 160. Now possibly going to 168. I'm sick and tired of it. I understand Canelo is getting ready to duck David Benavidez. Get mad at me if you want to.
Oh, hell yeah.
Because David Benavidez has been saying, I would love to fight Canelo Alvarez. Right?
Yes, he has.
Canelo has been mum. For you dumb niggas, that means silent. Right? He's been fucking mum on David Benavidez's name. While David Benavidez has been calling him out. We have all the articles on 3kingsboxing.com with quotes from David Benavidez calling Canelo out while he was the WBC champion. Okay? Then this motherfucker eats a little bit too many Twinkies, ho-hos, and ding-dongs, right? Before his fight with, what's his name, Romer Alvarez or Romer, whatever.
Yeah,
whatever
right.
the fuck, right? Before he fights that guy, loses his belt. Now all of a sudden Canelo's interested in the WBC belt at 168. So much so that he immediately throws his name in the pot to fight Avni Yildirim. But hold on, where was that same energy when the belt was being held by David Benavidez? Canelo is a ducker, nigga. He is a pound-for-pound fighter, but he is also a ducker because he's handpicking his fights, and they're basically, in the most recently, they're fights we're not asking for.
That's true. You're right about that. Nobody asked for Rocky Fielding. We damn sure didn't ask for Kovalev. Hell, maybe there was whispers of Jacobs, but I know Kovalev and motherfucking Rocky Fielding and Yildirim is not something we asked for either.
No, nobody, not even Canelo fans were asking for Yildirim. However, since they butt lick and dick ride Canelo, they were riding with the Yildirim decision. They were riding with it. And that's what I'm saying. They're fucking blights on boxing. It's not just Canelo fans. And I'm not saying Canelo fans in general. I'm saying people that dick ride certain entities in the sport. You guys are blights on the fucking sport of boxing. Because you're the reason why we can't get the fights made that real boxing enthusiasts want to see. You're the reason. There's absolutely no reason why Canelo should not be fighting Jermall Charlo next. No reason.
No.
He couldn't get a September opponent. And I'm glad. I'm so glad, bro. I'm glad Billy Joe. I'm not a fan. Like I said, I'm not a fan of none of these fighters. But I particularly don't really support Billy Joe Sanders like that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm so glad he came out and said, yeah, man, I had to take care of my grandma. You know what I'm saying? No time to train. I loved it. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. Fuck Canelo when it comes to this shit. Fuck him. You know, I particularly enjoyed, bro, when my man Jarrell Fletcher, right, senior writer for 3kingsboxing.com, covered Caleb Plant versus Vincent Finger Ass. You know what I'm saying? When he covered that fight, and in the post-fight press conference, Caleb Plant said, yeah, I know Canelo is basically, he made me an offer, and he's asking me to come back and fight him in May. That fight was in February. And Caleb Plant publicly said, no, I'm not going to come back that quick. That's too quick of a turnaround. I need time to rest, and then I need a proper training camp. So, no, I won't be ready by May. However, I'll be ready by September. Oh, Caleb Plant said this in February. You see? So I submit, why the fuck didn't they entertain Caleb Plant for September? But they sure as hell entertained him for May, less than 3 months away from his last fight against Finger Butt. He's a ducker, man. And he's trying to get handicaps on certain fights. That was a clear indication that he wanted a handicap for Caleb Plant. Hell, Caleb Plant even said it. He said, they're trying to get me while I'm overworked.
Yep, sure
That was his quote. He said, they're trying to get me while I'm overworked. He said, I won't be ready for May, but I will definitely be ready for September. Canelo and Golden Boy said zilch on fighting Caleb Plant in December. And that was in February, people. Caleb Plant never said there was a problem with money or nothing. He said, hey, it's less than 3 months. I can't fight you in May. I need a proper training camp. And sure he does. Canelo's a highly skilled fighter. I wouldn't want to fight Canelo coming off of a fucking 2-week training camp, nigga. Of course not. I wouldn't do what dumbass Sergey Kovalev did, right? Because that was the same deal that they gave Kovalev. Kovalev went life and death with Anthony Yarde in August and then fought fucking Canelo in November. Less than a proper amount of time for a real training camp, man. So Caleb Plant was like, no, you're not going to do me like Kovalev. I don't give a fuck how much money you offer me. Another quote he said was, it's not about the money. That's another quote. He said, you're not going to do me like Kovalev.
Yep.
I won't be ready by May, but I'll be ready by September. Golden Boy and Canelo said nothing more of Caleb Plant after that. He wants handicaps on fights, and he's a ducker. Plain and simple. It is what it is. Believe what you want to believe. But the fucking facts are all right there, man. So Canelo, at the end of the day, needs to fight Demetrius Andrade or Jermall Charlo next. Preferably Jermall Charlo, because he gave up his belt so that he wouldn't have to fucking he wouldn't have to be obligated, you know, for Jermall Charlo to eventually become his fucking mandatory. So he gave up his belt, took the franchise champion tag, right? And allowed Charlo to have his belt. So I really want him to fight Charlo now. Fuck out of here, man.
Listen,
nobody can dispute what I'm saying. It's all facts, and it all can be fucking looked up. All of it can be researched.
Man, look, at the end of the day, and this is why he's having trouble with the zone. They want better fucking opponents. They want more bang for their buck. And how do you get bang for your buck? You got to give me better fucking opponents. And this is why I'm saying he has to fight some of these young, undefeated lions out there. At the end of the fucking day, that's what you got to do. That's why the zone is like, no, hell no, man. We ain't giving you no fucking Yuriman. Why? We ain't getting no bang for our buck with that fight.
Right.
They won't bang for their buck. And after the performance, and wait a minute, I'm one to tell you, the only fighter I thought gives Canelo problems was David Benavidez.
Yep.
That was it. I think he beat Billy Joe Saunders.
Yep.
Okay. I think he beats Callum Smith, even though Callum Smith height and length would have given him a little bit, but Callum Smith he's so inconsistent. So I think he beats Callum Smith. The only one I was worried about was David Benavidez. I think he beats Charlo. You know? Hell, I even think even Boo Boo Andrade is tough because he's a slick fighter, and Canelo struggled with him, but I still think he even beats him. But at the end of the day, when we looking at all these fighters out there, what fight is appealing to us?
Right.
Abdi Yurdaman is not appealing to me.
Right.
Nope. I'm sorry. He's not. He's not appealing to the zone. So why is there a problem if we're saying, hey man, Charlo deserved to fight the dude, when y'all was saying, well, he did. When he was mandatory, y'all was telling us how he didn't deserve any. He didn't do anything to deserve it. Okay, well, how he's done something. Now what's the fucking problem? I don't get it.
Yep.
I don't understand it, man. That's why I say, man, if I was not covering boxing, I wouldn't fucking, y'all motherfucker wouldn't even know who Bo was. Like, real talk, y'all wouldn't know.
Exactly. Yeah, we wouldn't be watching this shit, man. So my man Jeff Boxing said 8 weeks ain't enough time to get ready. He's talking about Caleb Plant, the whole situation between Caleb Plant and Canelo. He said, I don't knock Caleb, but come on, 4 weeks recovery, 8 weeks in camp shouldn't be too much for a pro fighter. So here's the deal. I think a lot of people don't understand the grueling training that fighters have to go through. And that typically comes from people, and I'm not shitting on you, Jeff. It's a good question that you're asking, but I think you don't understand the life of a fighter. Okay. And Caleb Plant is a guy that he's actually training year round, right? So that could actually help your point. The problem that you're not understanding is it's fucking Canelo, Jeff. It's not like it's Masage Selecki. You know what I'm saying? Canelo is a highly skilled fighter. As we saw with Kovalev, you don't take Canelo with only, and realistically, he fought finger butt February 15th. Canelo wanted to fight Caleb Plant the first week of May because it was Cinco de Mayo weekend, right? So somewhere around May 5th. Realistically, you have to give a fighter time to fucking rest after his fight, preferably 2 to 3 weeks.
I was just going to break that down.
Yeah.
So if you break down 3 weeks, that's no longer 8 weeks. It's now 5 weeks. Then you got 2 weeks of promoting the fight. Technically, you got 3 weeks to fucking train. That's not enough time.
Yeah. Right. So realistically, let's give him some days, right? From February 12th, right, to May 15th to May 5th. We'll just say that's 3 full months, even though it's not. We'll just say it's 3 full months, right? So that's 12 weeks. So you need to rest for about 2 to 3 weeks. That drops you to 9. And then for the last 2 weeks of the training camp, they're not supposed to be training hard. They're not supposed to be sparring, right? Those last 2 weeks are to prepare them basically to slow their body down in a recovery period so that they can be ready by fight night. A lot of people are usually using it to basically cut weight as well, as Tank Davis. You know what I'm saying? Niggas are using it and for Tank, it still don't fucking work, right?
I'm about to say, that nigga uses the whole 12 weeks to go to work.
Right. So realistically, and then you got the press and the media and all that shit, those last 2 weeks, this is a big fight. So that's going to be all over the place those last 2 weeks. So that's 5 weeks that you're taking away from a 12-week training camp. So that's only 7 weeks to prepare for a Canelo Alvarez right after you just fought. Meanwhile, Canelo, at that time, I don't think Canelo had fought this year. Canelo hasn't even fought this year. His last fight was Sergey Kovalev, I believe.
Yep.
So meanwhile, Canelo has all this time to prepare for you, but you only got 7 weeks to prepare for him right after you just had a fight. No, that's not enough time for the likes of a guy like Canelo Alvarez. No, it's not. If it was like I said, Liam Williams, right? Walter Cotton-Dakwa, Luis Cuba Arias, hell yeah, 7 weeks is enough. Nigga, 3 weeks is enough for them. Canelo Alvarez, you need a full 12-week training camp. You need to mentally prepare yourself, right? Because here's the deal. Remember, here's the thing that guys aren't thinking about when they talk about this shit too. Some of these fighters need therapists while they're in training camp.
Yeah.
Vasyl Lomachenko is one guy that actually utilizes therapy during his training camps because the training is so fucking grueling, right? Remember, Anthony Joshua needed to utilize it before he fought Andy Ruiz, in the first fight when he lost, right? So the training is so grueling that they utilize fucking therapy, dog. That's what I'm saying, Jeff. I don't think you understand what these fighters go through. You see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, right? At the end of the day, a 7-week training camp for a guy like Canelo Alvarez, not enough. He needs a full 12 weeks, and he needs to get mentally prepared. Especially when you're fighting a machine like Alvarez that has a golden boy machine behind him, bro. And you coming into the fight already down 4 or 5 rounds. That motherfucker needs to prepare himself 100%, man. He said, my old trainer said, if you can't be ready to fight in 2 weeks, you should find a day job. Laugh a lot. I'm not disagreeing. I know firsthand. I ain't no fighter. I'm just running off what dude says. Sounds good. Right. I mean, your old trainer might be talking about them old days when niggas was fighting cab drivers on March 15th, and then they fight another cab driver on March 22nd. Yeah, for sure. In that situation, yeah.
Joe Louis had that. Remember, Joe Louis had that bum of the month, the bum of the month club. Remember that when Joe Louis had that?
Right.
The bum of the month club.
Exactly, dog. Yeah, when you back in them days, I mean, listen, man, and I'm not shitting on old school fighters, you know, but let's be realistic. Them motherfuckers would fight 4 times a month and it'd be a bunch of D-level niggas, man. They did that.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. They did. They sure fucking did.
You can't do that with a Canelo Alvarez, bro. You can't add a Canelo Alvarez to that, man. That's one of the best fighters of this era. Hell nah. You need 12 weeks for that dude, man. Absolutely. But at the end of the day, before we go into the next shit, I need to see Canelo Demetrius Andrade fight this guy. And it's not all just on them. Jermall Charlo needs to want to fight these guys as well. I don't want to hear no pricing yourself out, asking for $72 million, nigga, during COVID-19. I don't want to hear that shit. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man, you know what I'm saying? Right, here you go, Bo. Oh, man, I didn't get the Manolos. I can't take that fight. Now, I don't want to hear that shit either. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man, you know what I'm saying? My girlfriend had sucked my dick right last night. I can't take that fight. I don't want to hear that shit either. Take the goddamn fight. If it's an offer, take it. Because Jermall, as confident you are in yourself, if you really believe you can beat these guys, take the offer and get the money on the back end. That's what real champions do, man, at the end of the day. But as it pertains to Jermell, Jermell got 154 on lock, dog. It's over. So he got it on lock. Who? Patrick Teixeira? It's on lock.
I think isn't Patrick Teixeira supposed to fight Brian Castellano?
Yep. Brian Castellano probably beats Patrick Teixeira, but Brian Castellano can beat Jermell? No. It's locked. The only person that I think gives Jermell problems is Erislandy Lara, and I think Lara's too old.
Ooh, yeah.
That's it. Jared Hurd might, but if you guys have seen what I've seen from Jared Hurd in recent times, I mean, Jared Hurd literally was on Instagram. Jared Hurd was literally on Instagram. This nigga had like one of them little hairy dogs.
Yeah.
What is it, a Shih Tzu or some shit like that? And he's sitting there rubbing the dog, and this nigga singing and shit. Nigga a little too soft right now, bro. I don't trust Jared Hurd right now, bro. I don't trust that nigga, man. He seemed a little bit too soft for me, dog. So I question Jared Hurd's mental state after losing to J-Rock. And of course, remember, he didn't want that immediate rematch either, right? And then he lost his trainer. That was his trainer literally from when he started boxing, day one. So Jared Hurd's mental state is kind of out there right now. Erickson Lubin's not ready. Tony Harrison, he beats him, right? Then J-Rock, we already know J-Rock. Let him down, Philly! He's not ready. He's not ready, dog. Right? He's going to lose to Jermell. And then you start getting to the fucking Terrell Gaches. I mean, come on, man. Nah. He's got it on lock, bro. Nobody can beat him at 154. Nobody. I submit that Jermell go ahead because I don't think he's going to get that WBO belt.
Well, if Castellano wins, he could get it. If Castellano wins.
I don't know, man. Yeah, I just don't see Castellano jumping into that fight, dog. I don't see Castellano. Hey, I feel that way too, man. But at the end of the day, he got it on lock. Both of them Odell Beckham niggas got well, Jermall don't have his division on lock, but he's definitely a player. Let's put it that way. But Jermell got his shit on lock, man. Nobody could beat this dude right now, man, at 154. Nobody. Jermell, let's say Terrence Crawford, after his fake-ass fight against Kell Brook, maybe he moves up to 154, and that becomes an intriguing fight. I don't know. But I submit, bro, at this point in time, if he waits on the winner of Brian Castellano and Patrick Teixeira, and Castellano is playing some flake shit, right? I submit he just go ahead and move up to 160, man. Real talk. Because the IBF is gonna push a mandatory on him. You know that, right?
Yeah, they are. As a matter of fact, they got, I think, like the Guru said earlier, you know, the IBF mandatory fought tonight.
Yeah. they're gonna push a mandatory on Jermell. So he's gonna have to fight that dude. Then he's got to get in negotiations with Brian Castellano if he wins. If Patrick Teixeira wins, he's not getting that belt. Patrick Teixeira is a golden boy fighter. He's not getting that belt. You know what I'm saying? So I submit he move up to 160. There's really nothing else he can do, bro.
Whoo. You know what's the funny thing about that is you're right. Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. Because at the end of the day, you're not going to. There's really nothing left for you to do at 160. There really isn't. Now, I would like to see him fight Jarrett Hurd. I'm interested in that fight. That's still an intriguing fight. So I think there's still something there for Jarrett Hurd. I'm with you about Julian J. Rock. I don't think Julian J. Rock bounces back. But once you look past Jarrett Hurd, I mean, that's the shit, motherfucker. The herd is thin, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? The pastures look bleak. Goddamn, you're like, what the fuck?
Yep.
You know. So, but damn, if he goes to 160, who does he fight?
I don't know. I think he's stuck between a rock and a hard place. He's pretty much done what he needs to do at 154, in my opinion. I hope he goes for undisputed, like Rolando said, right? That will make him the first undisputed fighter since Winky Wright. I think Winky Wright was undisputed at 154 in 2004.
Yes, he was.
So it's been 16 years since 154 has had an undisputed champion. So we need that. I agree. I do want him to go for undisputed. I just don't think he gets the opportunity to do so, man. Mm-hmm. If the money's right and Golden Boy offers Patrick Teixeira, fine. Or maybe, it sucks that Patrick Teixeira beat Carlos Adamez. That shit fucked up everything. You know what I'm saying? Now I know Carlos Adamez is a top-ranked fighter. I believe he's a top-ranked fighter.
Yeah, he is.
But Bob Arum is willing to share Carlos Adamez. That's why they shared him with Golden Boy. You know what I'm saying? He'll move Carlos Adamez around. He'll let him fight a PBC fighter. Golden Boy don't want to fuck with Al Heyman at all. You see what I'm saying? And rightfully so. They took all the niggas' fighters. I wouldn't want to fuck with the nigga either.
I think the only way, the last time they did something like that is when Gary Russell Jr. had a mandatory in what's his name? What's the guy's name? He just beat
Jojo Diaz.
Jojo Diaz.
Yep. That's Jojo Diaz push for that fight.
That's very true.
They didn't want to put him in that situation. So I remember Oscar De La Hoya basically saying that Jojo Diaz might not be ready for that fight. Basically saying, AKA, we don't want to make the fight.
Right.
Jojo Diaz pushed for the fight. And as we always say, the promoters work for the fighters. And thus, he got the fight. So, but at the end of the day, I'm not sure, man. Maybe they will feed Patrick Teixeira to Jermell. I don't know. I don't think so, though, bro.
Well, that's why I'm hoping Castellano win. I think it's a better chance if Brian Castellano win. It's a better chance for Charlo to fight him than it is Patrick Teixeira.
Yeah. All right, man. So let's go ahead in the next, 15 minutes? Go ahead and do this quick-ass breakdown of this card, man. So we're going to start with Luis Nery versus Aaron Alameda. Now, Luis Nery beats him. Fucking lackluster-ass fight. Terrible-ass fight, in my opinion. Not the Luis Nery that we know. Not the Luis Nery that beat the dust off a pound-for-pound fighter Shinsuke Yamanaka twice. Not the Luis Nery that beat the shit out of Juan Carlos Payano. And not the Luis Nery that knocked out. Who the fuck did he knock out after that? It was Juan Carlos Payano and somebody else. I can't remember. But not that Luis Nery. And I told y'all, man, once they take the steroids out this nigga's ass, man, he's going to be a different dude. And that's what we saw tonight. There's no reason why he shouldn't have dominated Aaron Almeida, in my opinion. But what do you think about that fight, man?
Oh, man. I'm going to say something that y'all might not like. I think you can make a case that Aaron Almeida should have got the nod. I really believe you can make that case because I saw a fight where, yes, I think Luis Nery was trying to do something new with Reynoso. He was trying to be more of a boxer instead of who he truly is, which is what his nature is. And toward the end, I think the last 2 rounds, which is 11-12, is when he was like, "Hey man, fuck this, man. I got to go back to being Louis Neary," and he just tried to. He just, he really amped it up. But Aaron Alameda was doing some very good things. There was moments in that fight where he had Louis Neary looking lost.
Right.
And anytime, and what do we say? Just like with Gennady Golovkin, when you have one fighter making another fighter look a particular way that he's not used to looking, or make him look unusual, you can actually make the case that that fighter is being more effective. Thus why that fighter should probably have gotten a nod. Now, at the end of the day, I'm not upset, right, with Louis Neary winning, because there was nothing definitive to separate it. And I understand that. Sometime in boxing, hey man, sometimes that name is going to get it. If you don't make it definitive and separate yourself, hell, sometime when you do make it definitive, separate yourself, Oscar De La Hoya and Felix Strum, the name is still going to fucking get it. Okay, right? But at the end of the day, what I saw in Louis Neary, I didn't like what I saw in Louis Neary talking about fighting some of the other champions. He's gonna have to show me a little bit more. But Aaron Alameda did good enough to where I would like to see that guy again, man.
Yeah. At the end of the day, man, Louis Neary becomes the new WBC super bantamweight champion. We made a mistake on the last podcast, man. We were neglected to say that Ray Vargas vacated that fucking title. Sure now, what I don't understand is Ray Vargas is still at 122. So we told y'all before, man, Ray Vargas never want that smoke with Daniel Ramon when Ramon was the unified champion. When TJ Doheny was the IBF champion, he was not talking about fighting none of these motherfuckers, man. You know what I'm saying? He never wanted that smoke. Now that MJ is the unified champion, he just coincidentally drops his belt. What's my guy's name? That's the WBO at 122. He just beat Terrence. He just beat Mighty Mouse, Floyd Mayweather, Angelo Leo.
Angelo Leo.
Yeah, Angelo Leo said he wanted. Well, after the Stephen Fulton fight, he said he wanted to unify too. But so Ray Vargas, coincidentally, this nigga drops the belt. I think Angelo Leo mentioned Ray Vargas, actually.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, and Ray Vargas drops the belt. Now you got Louis Neary that picks it up. But Louis Neary is looking towards Brandon Figueroa, who also fought on this card, man. He fought Damian Vasquez. Fight went exactly the way we said it was going to go. What did you think about this fight, man?
First thing and foremost, sometimes if the referee don't do what his job is, you as a trainer need to do your job. And as a trainer, sometimes you got to notice when your fighter don't stand a chance, you can't just let him get beat the fuck up like that. That is a travesty, in my honest opinion. If I'd have been there and sitting in press row, I'd have said something to the fucking trainer. Hey man, stop this goddamn fight. This dude got no chance of winning. He's getting beat the fuck up. Don't do this young kid like this. That was utter complete bullshit. Now I understand the position of the referee because he was still fighting back. But the trainer, the corner, should have been a little bit more aware of when there's a possibility and when there's no fucking chance. Yeah. And what they did to that boy last night by letting him get beat on like that was a fucking travesty. And them niggas need to be slapped. But at the end of the day, Brandon Figueroa did. I mean, like we said he would do. The dude was able to do whatever he wanted. That's why we weren't surprised he would win. Yeah. He was able to do what he wanted. Why? Because Vasquez struggled with with a Payano who's 36 years old. Got beat by him. Shit.
Yeah, he lost to him by unanimous decision.
Unanimous decision. Hell yeah. You know what I'm saying? Once Brandon Figueroa figured, hey man, this dude really ain't got nothing for me, I give him credit. Damian Vasquez showed me something early. But there's levels to this shit. Brandon Figueroa showed him, no, okay, yeah, I like that. That was nice. My turn. Yep. But,
easy work.
Yeah, easy work. But again, the corner need they motherfucking ass whoop, man. That was bullshit.
I agree. If I'm Brandon Figueroa, I'm looking at after every punch, I look back at the goddamn corner. Yeah. Y'all gonna stop this shit or what, man? Yeah.
Dog, did you see how limp that nigga was when the ref did stop it? How limp he fell into the ref's arms?
Yeah.
He fell into the ref's arms like, God, thank you.
Bro, he was done the round before that. The nigga was limp up against the ropes, man, when the bell rang. He was done before that, bro.
Yeah.
And you're right. The corner, when he went back to the corner after that round, they should have stopped it on the stool, bro. While he was on his stool, it should have stopped it. Eyes were all black and blue, bleeding and shit all over the place. He was done, man. And we said the fight would go this way. He was a guy that hadn't fought anybody, man. And he fought scared in his last fight against a journeyman, man. So this was an overmatched opponent, to be honest with you. Brandon Figueroa, I agree with Stephen Fulton. Stephen Fulton basically said Brandon Figueroa is a scared-ass fighter. He don't want to make a big fight. I agree with Stephen Fulton.
Yeah,
listen, Brandon Figueroa is getting ready to be the new Ray Vargas if you let him.
Yeah.
However, he just has that WBA title. He's not rocking the WBC, right? But he'll fucking, if you let him, he will be the new Ray Vargas at 122. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, they need to light the fire under fucking Brandon Figueroa's ass, man. I like how Luis Nery's looking in his direction. Hopefully that fight gets made. But there was a WBC eliminator between Daniel Ramon and the guy we just mentioned, Juan Carlos Payano, all in the same division, 122. And I got to say, by the way, bro, PBC, for you Hispanics out there that don't like Al Heyman and PBC, they showed a lot of love to y'all motherfuckers today.
In spades. In spades, nigga. In spades.
PBC showed a hell of a lot of love to the Hispanic community, not just Mexicans and Dominicans and Cubans, etc. They show love to the Hispanic community as a whole, bro. Y'all motherfuckers dominated the fucking undercards. Luis Nery and Aaron Almeida, both from Mexico, right? You got Juan Carlos Payano from Mexico. Daniel Ramon,
Dominican Republic, I think, isn't he?
I'm sorry, Dominican Republic. Sorry.
Yeah.
Juan Carlos Payano and Banana Rosario. They're both from Dominican Republic. You got Daniel Ramon, who I think is from Mexico, but I know he's Mexican American, right? Yep. You got fucking 2 Mexican Americans in Brandon Figueroa and the guy who fought Damon Vasquez.
Yep.
Right? So they showed a lot of love to the Hispanic community, man. Y'all got to stop hating on Al Heyman.
Put championships and big checks in their pockets.
Exactly.
They put championships and big checks in their pockets. Exactly. Like I guarantee you, nobody knew who Aaron Almeida was. You know who he is now because of that performance, and you'll want to see the kid again.
Yep.
This is a kid that literally fought nobody, got in there with a dangerous cat of Luis Nery and showed the fuck out. Didn't win, but showed the fuck out. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Payano. A lot of you motherfuckers don't know nothing about Payano, but I bet you was impressed with what you saw from the 36-year-old tonight. See what I'm saying?
Impressed.
Yeah, very impressed. You know what I'm saying? And wait, matter of fact, Al Heyman took a Latino that wasn't even ranked by the WBC and put him in a title eliminator.
Sure did.
Come on, man. Now, if that ain't love, then what the fuck is You know, I know he ain't one of my hoes, but fuck it. You know, I give you a chance.
Exactly, bro. What did you think about that fighter? Daniel Ramon was coming off that loss to MJ where he lost his unified status, came back, fought Juan Carlos Payano. We both said that he would win the fight. We both said it was a fight that he needed to win, but did he look impressive, man?
It was a typical Daniel Ramon fight. It's a guy who it's a guy who waits too late into a fight to realize when it's time to turn it on for whatever reason. It's like he's waiting on something. Yeah. Now, I will say this. He was a little bit more aggressive than normal because right away he came out looking to jump on Payano, going to the body. But he looked confused by, just like when he fought MJ, the footwork and the movement of Payano was giving him some fucking problems. So I was okay with what I saw coming off of a loss, but not okay enough for me to say that, you know, if he was going to fight MJ again, he would win. No. Now, if he fights Luis Nery, I saw tonight, he has a good chance. He has a good chance.
So him winning the WBC eliminator, right? Mm-hmm. That actually puts him in line to fight Luis Nery, who actually won the WBC title. Those two could fight if Nery can't get something, you know, negotiated with Brandon Figueroa. You believe that Daniel Ramon could beat the Luis Nery that fought Aaron Almeida tonight?
Yes, I can. Yes, I do. I believe he has a good chance of beating him tonight, only because of the reason here is Daniel Ramon, in my honest opinion, is a smarter fighter and a much better inside fighter than Aaron Almeida was. And Aaron Almeida was having success on the inside against Luis Nery, which was incredible because he was a bigger puncher. Daniel Ramon has a good chin. He's never been down in a fight. So you can't necessarily say Luis Nery's power is going to carry the day. If Daniel Ramon comes in, goes to the body, mixes up his attack, just like Aaron Almeida did, and I know Daniel Ramon can do that. He has better footwork. He could be a problem for Luis Nery, man, that I saw tonight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good point. Luis Nery, man, my advice to him, man, go ahead and put the needle back in your ass, man. I'm just saying. That's what he needs to do, bro. Man, them commentators was hyping this motherfucker up.
Yeah, it was, man.
When Louis Neary hits you, you never recover from that.
Yeah.
Man, just ask Shinsuke Yamanaka. That motherfucker never fought again after he caught a big shot from Louis Neary. Hell, ask McJoe Arroyo. And that was his name, McJoe Arroyo, the other guy he knocked out. Ask McJoe Arroyo. You know what I'm saying? That motherfucker got hit with a big motherfucking shot. That nigga never came back to boxing, nigga.
Mm-hmm.
And then came into the fight a motherfucker nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
Couldn't even buzz him.
Nobody knows.
Couldn't even buzz him. Obviously, this nigga cycled off. Put him back on, Al Heyman. Put the needle back in his ass. He need to get back on them goddamn steroids, dog. That's when we gonna see the Louis Neary we've been seeing. We used to seeing. You see what I'm saying?
And see that Louis Neary, that shit say Yaganaka gave that goddamn slide out to after that fight. Yeah, nigga.
Yeah.
Yeah, nigga. You saw that look he gave that nigga. Yeah, nigga.
Yeah.
I mean, you went the distance. And again, I don't knock a fighter because you never know what a fighter has on the inside. But the way nobody can tell me that you go 12 rounds with a guy who biggest win is a nigga no one ever heard of.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about a guy who his last 5 fights was niggas 14-7, 25-16, 12-5, 9-9, 25-12.
That shit look like my resume.
like nigga, that's what you fight when you start your career, not
exactly, bro.
Not going into a championship fight. So yeah, no, man, I'm with you on that, man. They're gonna have to do something. They're gonna have to do something, man. Hopefully he was sick, was off his game. I don't know what it was, and got marked up at that too. You see his face after that fight?
Yeah,
this
dog.
nigga holding his hand up to the light because he said the shit was fucking with his eye.
Yeah, his eye was closing. I mean, it wasn't closing nothing like that, but it was closing.
Right, yeah, man. So if I'm Daniel Ramon, I'm looking at my chops. Well, after I saw that fight, I'm like, no, I want to fight him right now. Well, he needs no. Okay, watch that nigga, because he goes watch him, watch what he eat. I don't watch that nigga.
Exactly, bro. All right, man, we're gonna go back to the one we talked about when we first started, nigga. Man, that nigga Bo, he had the right pick. Duke Micah. Oh, wait, hold on. No.
Hey, man, hold on, man. Come on, man. What the fuck, man?
Wait a minute.
Do y'all know this nigga called me on the phone? Like, yo, you watching the fight, right? Yeah, I'm watching the fight.
Duke Micah didn't win, Bo? I thought you said that nigga was gonna win. Man, listen. Let me get this on real quick. I told y'all niggas, Duke, there's something wrong with these African niggas, man, at these smaller weights, man. Yeah. Duke Micah had the height advantage, had the reach advantage. I told you he's just like Zolani Tete. Height advantage, reach advantage, but does not utilize it at all. Nigga fights at mid-range to inside distance for whatever fucking reason. Now, Bo wrote the recap, and I read a paragraph in the nigga's recap. The shit said, for some reason, he wanted to fight on the inside. Nigga, that's what I said. I told you that's what the nigga does. Duke Micah be sitting his ass on the inside, man. You know what I'm saying? And shit, John Rael Casamiro, I always say Casamiro, and that's because I think Casamiro was training Duke Micah, actually.
Yeah, he was. He was. Joel Casamiro was training Duke Micah. Yes, he was.
Yeah, John Rael Casamiro. Now,
that explains a lot. That explains a lot.
Yeah, it really does explain a lot. You fucking right, dog. That
explains a lot now.
You fucking right, dog.
You should have known that before I made my pick.
Yeah. But look, at the end of the day, check this out. At the end of the day, right? At the end of the day, John Rio Casamiro was actually getting tagged a little bit, man, beginning in that first round, right? But it wasn't until that second round he landed that big ass shot. Duke Micah never fucking recovered, bro. Never fucking recovered. I mean, this nigga's legs were wobbly after the nigga sat on a stool for a minute, got up to start the next round. Nigga's legs were still wobbly, dog.
Yeah, that's why they told the ref to look at him.
Yeah, they looked at his eyes. Exactly. Yeah.
He got up off the stool wobbly. The referee said, "Oh, Doc."
Nah, look at him. Yeah. So yeah, exactly, dog. So at the end of the day, it was that one big shot that he took and he never fucking recovered. It's unfortunate for Michael because he looked really good in that first round.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But however, the problem is that he went back to what he's known to do, right? His normal tendency, which is to fight at mid-range inside distance, which gives the smaller fighter an opportunity to land on you. And that's actually what I was worried about Jermall. You see what I'm saying? But this is what Duke Micah did in the beginning of the goddamn fight. And that's how he got caught. So Jermell Charlo knocks him the fuck out in 3 rounds, right? A little bit earlier than what I said. I think I said he was going to knock him out in 5 or 6 or something like that, right? But Jermell Charlo is now open. And he's awaiting. And we made another mistake on the last podcast. We said that Noya was fighting Nordine Al-Bali. He's actually fighting Jason Maloney. I forgot about that. He's fighting Jason Maloney. That's easy work. Jason Maloney ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? Noya is going to knock out Jason Maloney. Casimero is waiting on the winner of that fight. Because remember, Casimero and Noya were supposed to fight on April 25th.
Sure was.
Of this year. COVID-19. They were supposed to fight April 25th in Las Vegas. Me and Bo was ready to go.
Oh, hell yeah.
We was getting ready to go to the fight. And COVID-19 happened.
And
fucked up everything.
And we wasn't eager to go back to Vegas for the fight either. That's all I'm going to say.
Right. So COVID-19 fucked up everything. You know what I'm saying? So now Casimero is like, shit, nigga, I want Noya. I beat this Duke Micah nigga up. I want to fight Noya now. So as soon as Noya defeats Jason Maloney, you can bank on that fight happening. But I don't think Casimero beats him, dog, or Casimero beats him. I think Noya beats the fuck out of Casimero because Casimero's defense is very, very shot, dog. He's wide the fuck open to be hit, bro. And he's susceptible to a boxer that knows what the fuck he's doing. He's gonna get his ass mollywopped by Noya. But it's gonna be a good fight while it lasts. But I don't see him winning that shit, bro. But that's what we can look forward to. My man Junior John said long-term. He said long-term boxing world wants Nery versus Noya. Hey, I was thinking that tonight.
I was too.
I was thinking that same shit. Noya moves up to 122 from bantamweight because he's been talking about it. I want to see a Noya versus Luis Nery, but not the Luis Nery we saw tonight.
Yeah, right. I'd rather he fight Casimero.
Yeah.
I'd rather he fight Casimero if that's the case then.
Exactly. Fight Casimero, nigga.
Casimero, yeah.
He was supposed to fight Emmanuel Rodriguez. That fight got canceled due to COVID as well. Go explore that fight again. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Fight him. Don't fight a Noya the way you look tonight. Absolutely not, bro. I don't want to see that. But all right, man, we got the last one. Another Cuban bites the dust, man. Bo, what's wrong with your people, man?
Hey, man. Hey, I didn't get this one wrong, and for good fucking, I didn't get my heart on this one, goddammit, and for good fucking reason. And for good fucking reason. Why? Because this nigga did the same goddamn thing I said. I said he lacks ring IQ.
God,
he showed it in spades. He got hit by the same left hook over and over and over and over and over and over. And if I'm saying it a lot, because it happened a lot again.
Yep. Listen, our diagnosis of the fight was pre-fight was that the KO doctor, aka Yuniel Dorticos, nigga, aka Doritos, man, Mairis Briedis knocked the nacho cheese off that nigga, bro. Real talk. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell you something, man. The diagnosis of that fight was that Dorticos don't know how to adjust at all, and he looks for the same 1-2.
Yep.
Looks for the same jab, straight right hand. All right, didn't land that one. All right, reset. Jab, straight right hand. Up. Barely landed that one. All right, reset. Jab, straight right hand. Oh, landed that one. Okay. Come back. Jab, straight right hand. That's all he fucking does, man. Go look at the Tabiti fight. Tabiti was just too stupid to know that. That's how he got caught.
Yep.
Right? That's all he does. Look at the Murat Gassiev fight in the semifinals of the last year's or the first cruiserweight WBSS tournament. That's all he does. Right? So I knew, given how he fought Murat Gassiev, and Dorticos has not made any adjustments as a fighter since that fight, I knew he was going to get his ass whooped by Mairis Briedis. Right? Briedis was beating the shit out this dude, man. I mean, and I know people are gonna be like, he wasn't really beating the shit out of him. When I say that, what I mean is that Briedis had his way with him.
Yes, he did.
Briedis could land whatever the fuck he wanted to land at any point in time. Preferably the uppercut straight down the fucking middle. Easy work.
Mm-hmm. And why? Because like me and 2K told you, the nigga don't got semen in his shoes, but he got some pebbles. He got some
pebbles in there, bro. Yeah. He got some pebbles in there, man. Make him awkward when he's stepping, man. So he don't take certain steps. He don't utilize angles. Nigga, it's too awkward.
Yep.
Right? So Briedis was utilizing the fuck out of him, dog.
He was.
Man, easy work from Mairis Briedis. Completely outboxed Yuniel Dorticos. Briedis is an underrated fighter, bro. I don't think people value Briedis for what they should value him at. Do I think he can go to heavyweight and make a lot of noise? I'm not too sure. He's kind of too short, in my opinion. Briedis looks like he's maybe like 5'11", 6 foot. I might be wrong. But he looks short as fuck. I know Dorticos is like 6'1", 6'2", something like that.
He's like, 6'3", 6'4", yeah.
That nigga ain't no 6'4", man.
Yeah, 6'3", 6'4".
Man, hold on, man.
No, look it up because I remember they was comparing that nigga height with his right hand to like Teofilo Stevenson and Sabon.
They got that nigga at 6'4". Man, hold on, man. I gotta look this up, nigga. I can't let you slide on that one, dog. I can't let you slide on that one, man.
Y'all see how that nigga is to me? I make one prediction wrong and shit. Now I'm trash.
Yeah, I can't let you slide on that one, man. Look, whatchamacallit ain't even working right now, so I can't even look it up. I don't know. We'll go back to that, but I don't think that nigga that high. But whatever. Mairis Briedis looks like he's short for the heavyweight division. You know what I'm saying? And given how he fights, I don't think he can go in there and fight guys like, Anthony Joshua. I don't think he could even fight someone like a Deontay Wilder. Just given how short he is, how short his reach is, and how much of an economical fighter he is. He's very smart, but I can see him getting caught in that fight against someone like a Deontay Wilder. I definitely don't see him fighting a Tyson Fury. That's an extreme mismatch. You know what I'm saying? So I don't see him making too much noise at heavyweight. If he goes there, it would be to like follow Usyk, try to get that rematch or something like that. So I think he should be a career cruiserweight, which right now the cruiserweight division is not popping at all, man. So he's an underrated fighter, and he's going to continue to be an underrated fighter, but he's a very smart one. And he showed it tonight, man. Dorticos had nothing for this guy, man. But it's a good win for him. He's got the IBF title. I think Glowacki, the guy he fought in the semifinals when he elbowed that nigga and got stripped, I think he's got the WBO title right now. I think he picked it up. I can't remember. But if he did, you know what I'm saying, they got opportunity for a rematch there. That could be a decent fight. But realistically, like at cruiserweight, man, you're really just looking at fucking Alunga Makuba or Makabu, who's always, he's not really that much of a good fighter. Lawrence fucking Akoli, probably the most boringest fighter at cruiserweight right now. You know what I'm saying? You got fucking Arsen Goulamirian.
I'm about to say, but what about my guy, the triple elevated champion?
Yeah, Arsen Goulamirian. That's the WBA super champion. That's an interesting fight. You know what I'm saying? Goulamirian's 26-0. That's an interesting fight. But that's about it. Some people like Kevin Lorena. I don't like Kevin Lorena. I think he's whack. That's it. It's really Arsen Goulamirian. That's it. So cruiserweight is shot. It's gonna remain shot, and Mairis Briedis is gonna still remain to be a fucking basically a fighter in seclusion, man, an underrated fighter. Unless he can lose some weight, get down to 175, which I doubt he could do.
I doubt he could do that. Yeah, the biggest problem with Briedis is when Usyk left, everything left with him.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. That tournament was the biggest thing for it, and when Usyk left, everything left with him. So.
Yeah, definitely in between a rock and a hard place, man. Too small for heavyweight and too big for 175. So we'll see what it is, man. All right, man, Bo, what else you got to add, man?
All right, man. Listen. I want all of y'all to understand something. We say what we say because we're passionate about the sport. Now, a lot of y'all had comments, and I saw some of your comments. I'm not gonna like reply to every comment because and it's not to say none of y'all, but a lot of times some of that stuff gets kind of redundant because it's like, hold on, man, if you think for yourself, the answer's right there. You know what I'm saying? So we do enjoy y'all talking. We do enjoy y'all coming in. As y'all see, we are not afraid of none of that smoke. But at the end of the day, if you guys really tell me that y'all love boxing, at the end of the day, if you guys really tell me that you want to see the best fight the best, then you got to stop saying who deserves what. If a fighter goes out and gives the performance of his life that is worthy of your fucking attention, you have to start supporting that fighter to fight the top dude. Because at the end of the day, I can sit and ask you who deserved any motherfucking thing when I look at certain guys' resume.
Exactly.
So if you're telling me you love it, there's nothing you can tell me about why Charlo Canelo is not a good big money making fucking fight. Because that's what at the end of the day is what it's about. It's about the best good fights. So if that's what it's about, and we've seen other fighters do it, man, you got to be in support of that, man. Also, you know, Prodigy has been on me, man. Like real talk. I don't know if y'all noticed, but you know, Prodigy sort of have been getting on your boy Bo. So here today, I'm gonna make a challenge to Prodigy right here on air. From now on, we're gonna have fight predictions where me and this motherfucker is gonna go head to head, breaking it down with our fucking picks.
That's easy. That's what's up.
I want that to happen. So y'all, every Friday before a fight, me and Prodigy we're gonna do our best to come on here, give y'all fucking breakdowns, and go head to head. What I'm saying is, we're gonna always be on the opposite side of that tree.
But well, at the end of the day, nigga, you already down one.
No, it's start next week. You don't start the count now, nigga.
Fucking Duke Micah, nigga. You down one already.
Andre Rozier had a tough night, didn't he, boy?
Yes, nigga, Andre Rozier, yeah, man, for real, dog. Shit did not pan out the way he thought. Nigga, like who was it? Bakari said that nigga gonna cry in the car, bro.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, my man Junior Johns. Before we get the fuck up out of here, he said Charlo Alvarez is a massive fight in Texas. Make it happen. Yeah, Canelo's fought here in Dallas before. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. Fans were all over the place. Mexicans, essays, and Vatos Locals Forever was all over the fucking place, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So at the end of the day, yeah, bring that shit down here. Yeah, it's gonna fill the house, man. I agree 100%. All right, man. Y'all know what to do. Go to 3kingsboxing.com for your source of pure, unadulterated boxing information. Follow us at Twitter or on Twitter at 3kingsboxing.com or on Twitter at 3kingsboxing. Instagram at 3kingsboxing. It's 3 o'clock in the morning, nigga. Yeah. I'm tripping, bro. Facebook.com/3kingsboxing, man. We're going to try to come on here every other day. We're not going to be here tomorrow. We're not going to be here on Monday. So don't wait for us on neither one of them fucking days. We might come back on Tuesday, talk a little shit. You know what I'm saying? Talk about women, have some fuckery. You know what it is, man. And always talk boxing. Look for us at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern, 8 o'clock Central, 6 o'clock Pacific. You know, congratulations to all the fighters out there. Shout out to 3 Kings Boxing writing staff, my man Jarrell Fletcher, my man Bo Bland right here on this podcast here, my man Bakari Simpson, my man Michael Wilson, my man Red, everybody that's a part of 3 Kings Boxing. Great job tonight. Took care of business. You know what I'm saying? Until the next one, we out this bitch.